Namaste.
You want me to share screen today, doctor?
I have a
can...
screen.
Okay.
I have a screen here. Once this comes, then I will share. People. Interesting that.
Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganeshaya Namaha.
Good morning to all of you and welcome you for this online webinar, virtual webinar on the Tap Your Inner Healing through Mantra Therapy and Mantra Chikitsa. We are honored to have you, all of you. And before that, I would like to say Happy New Year to all of you. And so New Year brings us peace and happiness, and at the same time, prosperity and health. And also remove our obstacles of psychological problems, panic attacks, worries. Of course, now this is the time mantra therapy really works very well. Everybody is worried about the COVID variants such as Delta, Omicron, and all the different things. Now it's coming up, more and more variants will come. We'll be panicked and worried. And when the stress is increasing in your body, your immune system is also compromised. There's a lot of scientific studies are published how your stress can increase your vulnerability for the COVID conditions. And at the same time, it also helps you to calm the mind. This mantra therapy really works very well. I wish all of you will join in this our training program. We are honored to have Pandit Neil Sahil Parmewsar, a renowned scholar, Vedic scholar, born and brought up in USA, a lineage from family of Vedic traditions, and very fortunate to have him here in Pennsylvania, very close to my center, Wellness Center. We are very, very lucky to have him here. And I'm very fond of this opportunity to have him here very close to me. Myself, Dr. Shekhar Annambhotla, a classically trained Ayurvedic doctor, practicing Ayurvedic medicine more than 33 years, around more than 30 countries. And I have a full form of Ayurvedic practice and teaching and Panchakarma therapies and educational programs. Our goal is that to introduce this mantra therapy, which does not involve any medications, any drugs. And nowadays we can see the lot of cases, there are psychiatric cases, psychiatric problems. It's a great opportunity for us. Certainly, we need to incorporate this one, which majority of the Ayurvedic schools are not taught. I think it is a shame for the Ayurvedic schools when they are not teaching these courses. The reason is that they wanted to imitate the allopathic doctors. Ayurvedic doctors imitate like allopathic doctors. And that means they are excluded this yoga philosophy, spirituality, mantra therapy. A lot of Ayurvedic doctors, we ask them, I feel myself shameful that why they have not incorporated mantra therapy in our schools, in educational programs. It is a part of the thing, but we lost it. But very important that the renowned scholar, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, the Transcendental Meditation Guru, teacher, Beatles Guru, and Transcendental Meditation founder, TM founder, he has a vision. This wisdom wanted to bring it to the Ayurveda. Then he considered as a Vedic science. Mantra therapy is a Vedic science. He used the word Maharshi Vedic vibration technology. Maharshi Vedic vibration technology. See the word, how Vedic vibration. Through the vibration, when I'm talking, when I'm singing, for example, a lot of times you feel that when you are growing up, some songs is a French song or English song or African song or something, you are in tune with that, lullabies or something. As you hear, even though you are grown up, immediately your ears started to ring that one, and you started to feel some relaxation is happening there. By listening to the lullaby only you are responding, or some song we are responding, that means our memory is able to capture this wonderful knowledge in our soft disk in the DNA structure. And when we see this type of Vedic recitations, when we lost a lot of times, the Panditji is going to give a recitations of Bija mantras. These are there. They are hidden. The hidden treasure. When we started to talk about that, wow, I remember these things. I started to invoke, innovate, and bring them out. Once you bring them out, you started to feel the healing. So today we are going to discuss about tap your healing, inner healing through mantra therapy. Panditji will be explained to you. And after that, this is a 1 hour session, approximately 1 hour, 15 minutes. So we'll have a questions and answer session will be there. And what you do, if you have any questions, the chat box is there. You can write questions. Panditji also can see, and myself. Panditji right now he is in India, visiting all the spiritual temples and pilgrimages and performing some pujas in India. He will be coming soon back to USA. But still we are going to start our program. We have several people from the various countries, Brazil, New Zealand, and India, and as well as USA, Canada. Several people they registered. It is a very affordable program which you can join. That is starting on the January 16th. So that will be in a similar way like that. It is happening, and the video recording, and we will send you the recording. Who are registered participants, all the people will get the recording by email, and they can do some homework and practicing and everything. They can do it in such a wonderful way. Now we are honored to have Panditji here. And let me introduce to you Pandit Neil Parmewsar. Please welcome with a namaste. Pandit,
Namaste. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
welcome.
We can share the screen if you want. I hope everyone had a pleasant and peaceful entry into the new year. Okay, so today we'll be talking about tapping your inner healing through mantra therapy, as doctor mentioned. Before we start with the actual talk, I'll chant a few mantras. I'll invoke the devas to help us have good speech, righteousness, ritam, truthfulness, satyam, and invoke these qualities. Yeah, you can go to the next slide, doctor. So we'll start with Ganapati. We always start with Ganesha. Ganesha is the one who we invoke first to remove all the obstacles to our practice, all the inner obstacles that block us from accessing our ability to heal, our ability to connect with others, our ability to, whatever it is, perform any activity. We always invoke Ganesha. He is known as Vigna Raja, Vigna Vinayaka, who is not just remover of obstacles, Vigneshwara, but the Lord of obstacles. So he both removes them and places them perhaps when necessary as well to stop us from doing foolish or untruthful things. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Tam Vangmayastam Chinmayaha Tam Anandamayastam Brahmamayaha Tam Satchidananda Dvitiyosi Tam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Tam Brahmastam Vishnustam Rudrastam Indrastam Agnistam Vayustam Suryastam Chandramastam Brahma Bhur Bhuvas Suvarum. Namo Pradapadaye Namo Ganapadaye Namah Pramatapadaye Namaste Astu Lambodaraye Ekadandaya Vigna Vinashine Shivasudaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapadaye Namaha. Om Glaum Mahaganadhipadaye Namaha. Om Lam Lambodaraye Namaha. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Doctor. Next, we'll invoke Saraswati as well as the Guru. Saraswati is known as Vagdevi, who is the goddess, the Devi of speech, the power over speech. So she helps us conduct our speech in a righteous and truthful way, in an honest way, in a way that helps and uplifts others and ourselves. And of course, Guru is everything. Guru is absolutely everything. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Mai Medha, Mai Praja, Mai Agnistejo Dadhatu, Mai Medha, Mai Praja, Mai Indra Indrayam Dadhatu, Mai Medha, Mai Praja, Mai Suryo Bhrajo Dadhatu. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Sarva Lokanam Bhijaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Om Namo Narayanaya. We'll invoke Narayana, who is Vishnu, who is often depicted in this resting or sleeping or lying down form, as you see here. He's known as, in this form, he's known as Ranganatha Swami, if he's in what's called as Ardha Shayana, which is the half laying down pose. Or if he's in Purna Shayana, which is the full laying down pose, he's called as Padmanabha Swami. Padma means lotus, Nabha means navel. You see Brahma coming out of the lotus, which is emerging from Vishnu's navel in this image, and Lakshmi at his feet, Lakshmi Devi at his feet. Vishnu symbolizes the entire creation. There's a verse from the Vedas which says, Yacha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate piva antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana stitaha. What does this mean? This verse is one of my favorites. It comes from the Narayana Sukta, from the Krishna Yajurveda, Mahanarayana Upanishad. What does it mean? Yacha kinchit jagat sarvam. Everything that exists in the universe, that moves and doesn't move. Drishyate shruyate piva, that you can either perceive through sight or hearing, or that's also unperceivable, imperceivable. Drishyate shruyate piva antar bahischa tat sarvam, both in its outer form, which you can perceive, and in the inner essence, which is hidden. Vyapya Narayana Stitaha, both of those are Narayana. Both the outer form which you see and the inner essence which is hidden, both are Narayana, both are Vishnu. So this is something we'll talk about in the context of healing in a little bit. But it's a very interesting and important definition is given there of what is Narayana, who Narayana. We can attribute an image to him like we do here, but in essence, the Vedas defines it for us very clearly when we refer to the divine, in this case, and with the name of Narayana. Who is Narayana? What is Narayana? Narayana is everything that is perceived and imperceived in this entire universe, that moves and that doesn't move, that you can see, that you can hear, that you can't see or hear. That is Narayana, not just in the inner essence. We always say God is within, right? We say that, but it's saying also in the outer form. So both in the inner and the outer, everything that is perceived in the entire cosmos is Narayana. And then we take it further here when we connect it with this verse, which is written and translated here. Vishnu raratamasi Vishnu shnaptresto Vishnu syurasi Vishnu druvamasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnavetva. So we already heard that Narayana is everything that is perceived in the cosmos. And here the Vedas say you are also Narayana. You are also Lord Vishnu. You're the forehead of Vishnu, you're the back of Vishnu, you're the corners of his mouth, you're the thread of Vishnu, you're the fixed point of Vishnu. You are Vishnu and Vishnu is you. So if Vishnu pervades the whole cosmos and you are also Vishnu, that means maybe you two are pervading the whole cosmos without knowing. This is important in healing, we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, you can go to the next slide, Doctor. And this is, for those of you who don't know, this is Shirdi Sai Baba. He was an avatar who was born onto earth, form of the divine. Very important. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om Mano Buddhyahankara Chittani Naham Nacha Shrota Jive Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Natejo Navayo Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Aham Nirvikalpo Nirakara Rupo Vibhurvyapcha Sarvatra Sarvendrayanam Sadame Samatvam Namukte Namandha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. So the Vedas declare that the divine is within. We just talked about Narayana. What is Narayana? Who is Narayana? In many ways, in many forms, in many words, in both succinct and in long form, the Vedas declare that the divine is here, within, without, in the entire creation, within you, within every single element and aspect of creation is the divine. We are all the divine. We are all Narayana. We are all Shiva, Shivoham. We are all Chittam, pure consciousness, awareness. In the Vedas, they talk about this. In the Yoga Shastras, they talk about this. The Bhagavad Gita says this. The Puranas say this. All of the scriptures, the Bible says this. The Quran says this. Moshe said this. Moses said this. What is the name of God in Hebrew that is revealed to Moses? Ehyeh, I am. Literally, when Moshe first sees the burning bush, he asks, who are you? And God, the divine, says back to him, Ehyeh, Asher, Ehyeh, I am that I am. I will be that I am. I am always that I am. That's what that translates to in Hebrew. So all scriptures talk about the divine is not some third-party external object that we have to fold our hands and pray to in an image or wherever. But the divine is very much here and now with us, within us, outside of us, all around us, above us, below us, beneath us, behind us, in front of us, everywhere, everywhere. The Vedas say this in 4 Mahavakyas, they're called. They're short affirmations or aphorism, but Mahavakya means utterance of truth. So in the Yajur Veda, it says, we have 4 Vedas. There are 4 Vedas. So in the Yajur Veda, it says, Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am the divine. Aham means I, Asmi means am, Brahma means the divine. So in the Yajur Veda, it clearly says, I am the divine. This is the realization of the rishis who revealed the Vedas to us, the great saints and sages who revealed this knowledge to us. Their realization was, I am the divine. From the Rig Veda, Pragyanam Brahma, means the pragyana means the consciousness, the innate consciousness, which everyone is born with before death, and after death it still exists. Before birth it exists, and throughout life it exists. That's the pragyana which we're referring to. That consciousness is divine. That awareness is divine. The divine is innately known within each one of us, within every aspect of creation, within the tree, within the animals, within the humans, within the inanimate objects, everywhere. Quantum physics has started to talk about some of this stuff as well. Samaveda, Tattvamasi means you are that divine truth. In this case, they say it in the second person. But again, the revelation is you are divine. Tattvamasi. And from the Atharva Veda, Ayam Atma Brahma means the soul is divine. Atma means soul. Ayam means that, and Brahma means divine. That soul is divine. Ayam Atma Brahma. The rishis, when Atharvana Rishi, when having perceived himself in the absolute form, his own soul, his own Atma, perceives, feels, sees the Atma and realizes that Atma is Brahma, is God. God is not some outside force. God is very much here. And I too am that God. I too am a part of that. I too am that in whole. This, the Vedas say this also. That you are the divine, you are a part of the divine, but you yourself are the divine in whole also. This is a very profound realization. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate means you are wholeness. Wholeness is you. If you take a piece away from that wholeness, the wholeness is not lost. The fullness is not lost. And if you add something to the wholeness, it remains whole. The piece of the wholeness is also full and whole. The whole in and of itself, the fullness in and of itself is also full and whole. So this is what the Ishavasya Upanishad says. Isha Upanishad says about the divine. So why all of this about the divine when we're talking about healing? Because the message here is clear that within each of us is the ability to tap into the divine power to heal. Within each of us exists this divine power to heal. We can heal ourselves, we can heal others, because we are the divine, each of us. We are whole and full within us, each of us. So we have the power to heal within each of us as well. The only question is, how do we tap into that? How can we access that? This is the question. So mantra is one way to tap into this ability to heal. There are many ways that we can tap into this ability to heal. Dr. Shekhar practices Ayurveda. I've gone through Panchakarma with him. That's also a tool to heal. What is in the Ayurvedic scriptures, Sushrut and Charaka and all that wrote, that also is a tool for healing. Mantra also is a tool for healing. There's other types of healing as well. There's touch healing, there's pranic healing, there's all kinds of healing. But mantra is one way to heal, which, as Dr. Shekhar mentioned before, uses vibration. Okay, so mantra works through the sound, through the vibration. So why is this important? Of all the elements that we have 5 elements in the Vedas that they talk about. Pancha Mahabhutas, 5 elements they talk about, that all of creation is formed out of. The most gross of them is earth. Earth is something you can touch and feel, right? You can go outside now and pick up a piece of earth and you can feel it and you can touch it and you can taste it and you can smell it and you can see it. You can experience it through all the five senses. So it's the most gross of the five elements is earth. Prithvi is what they call it in the Vedas, in Sanskrit. The next, moving from gross to subtle, the next element, which is a little bit more subtle than earth, is water. You can still taste it, you can still see it, you can maybe smell it if it has a scent, possibly, maybe. You can hear it, you can hear running water. You can kind of touch it, but you can't really hold it or grasp it, right? You can feel it, maybe feel it a little bit, but you can't really hold it or grasp it. Maybe you can't really smell it. Pure water doesn't have a smell to it. Technically, pure water doesn't have a taste to it either for humans. So it's a little bit more subtle. Then we move a little bit more subtle to fire. Fire is a very interesting element. Fire defies gravity. All other elements are subject to gravity. They move downward. Water flows from north to south. Earth moves downward. Wind also, air is also subject to the gravitational force. Fire is one element which grows upward. When you start a fire, it moves upward. So it's an interesting element. But fire is a little bit more subtle than water. Fire, you can't, I mean, hopefully you don't try to taste fire. You can see it. You can smell, not really. I mean, you can smell burning. You can smell the object which is burning, but the fire itself, you can't really smell. Hearing, not really. You can hear the crackles and stuff of what is being burned. But again, the pure fire, you don't really hear it. You can see it. You can kind of feel the heat or warmth off of it. So it's not as experienced by the senses as earth and water are, right? Next, we move to air. Air, and now we can't even see air, right? We can't even perceive air anymore. So we're moving beyond the sense even of sight now. The final element, the most subtle of the elements which they say in the Veda is ether, akasha. Ether is pure space. In science, they talk about being in a vacuum, right? Ether is pure space. It's like complete space, void of even atmosphere, air, void of everything. It's just space. It's pure vibration. So this is the level through which mantra works. Why am I mentioning all this? Mantra works through the element of akasha, ether. It works on a very subtle level. It also can become a gross force, but it starts at the root of everything, which is ether, which is vibration, which is akasha. Mantra works on a vibration level. So you can heal people not just on a physical level through mantra, you can heal people on a mental level, you can heal people on an energy level, you can heal people on an inner level through mantra. So you can heal not just physical diseases that people are having through the use of mantra, but you can also heal mental thoughts and emotions and feelings you can help people process those. Man in Sanskrit means mind. Mantra means a tool which works through the mental faculty. Tra means tool, man means mind. So mantra is a tool which works through the mental faculty. So you can heal people's thoughts. As Dr. Shekhar mentioned at the top, now we have an epidemic today of mental health. Even in the youth, you hear a lot now of children, kids, teenagers who struggle with mental health issues, whether it's depression or confidence issues, or other anger. Maybe they have like extreme anger or resentment towards whatever their situation is. So you have a lot of people who struggle with mental depression. You have a lot of people who struggle with mental health issues. Mantra is a very powerful tool that works through the mental faculty, that works through the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, and can help to calm all of that and bring you to a state of pure bliss and vibration, which is at complete health, at complete balance, at complete health, at complete ease. It can take you from dis-ease to ease because it's a vibration. In the end, with the mantra, what are we doing? When I was chanting at the beginning, to your ears, it sounds like sound, but on an energy level, it's pure vibration. I mean, all sound is vibration. Now they're saying even in quantum physics, everything is vibration. Every single thing is vibration. This is one of the theories. Matter is vibration. Matter is just vibrating at a different frequency than air and non-tangible things. But this is what they're starting to say through research in quantum physics. So mantra is also a vibration. It works through the vibration, it works through sounds, and it connects us to our state of balance, of health, of ease within, which is that healing power, which allows us to tap into our own healing, our own self, as well as healing others. People can come to you with all sorts of different diseases. You can heal them just through the practice and power of mantra. Just like anything else, mantra requires practice. If I teach you a mantra today, you may be able to access a little bit of healing power from it just from the pure sound vibration that exists. But if you practice it over time and over time and over time, and as you bring your personal vibration in sync with the vibration of the mantra, that healing power can really increase to a point where you can really start to heal people physically, emotionally, spiritually with the mantras. It requires no touch, doesn't even necessarily require their physical presence. You can heal distantly through this technique as well. So this is why we are starting this course in a couple of weeks on mantra therapy, because it's a very powerful tool for healing. It's an additive tool as well. So if you already are an Ayurvedic practitioner, you're already a yoga practitioner, yoga teacher, you can add mantra to your current practice, and it can multiply the effects of the healing. In Ayurveda, in the ancient Ayurveda, actually, one of my teachers practices this too. There's a practice where when you harvest the herbs, before even harvesting the herbs, when you're growing them in the earth itself, but then when you harvest them and when you refine them for use, for medicinal use, there are mantras for each stage which you chant on the herbs to empower them with the energy, with the Shakti, with that divine healing power, to bring about more of the healing power of that herb. And depending what healing power you're trying to invoke, you can use different mantras for that. But there's a practice of using the mantra to bring about more healing power in those herbs which you provide to your patients for medicinal use. Same thing with other Ayurvedic treatments. If it's Shirodhara, there's a practice. I've seen one of my teachers practice mantra before administering Shirodhara treatments. Even Dr. Shekhar, when he administered Panchakarma for me, we used a lot of mantra. And I believe that the mantra that we used while doing Panchakarma made the process more effective as well, made the treatments and process more effective as well. So mantra is a very powerful additive practice. In yoga also, you can scroll down, Doctor, you can scroll down. We'll talk about the course curriculum in a minute. We'll go through sort of what we'll be offering in the course. But mantra, even in yoga practice, is recommended. Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras doesn't talk as much about mantra, but in other yogic texts like the Yoga Vashishta, Yoga Yagyavalkya, these are different yogic texts that the different rishis, gurus, munis have authored and for us to be able to practice the art and science of yoga. In the Tirumantaram by Tirumular, these texts talk a lot about how mantra can be used as a daily practice along with the asana and the pranayama, especially the pranayama and the pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, to deepen the states of meditation, to get you into that state of yoga. I mean, yoga in the end, it's not doing so physical poses. It's a state level of awareness, of consciousness, which you're connecting with the consciousness, a level of awareness which we're trying to reach. So mantra can be used to reach that state. There's even a system called mantra yoga, which uses mantra as the primary practice, yogic practice, both for healing as well as a yoga practice. So, so to give an overview of what the course will be offering in a couple of weeks, the course we're starting on, I believe it's January 16th after Makara Sankranti, when the days start to become longer. We have the year in Vedic astrology is split up into two parts. It's split up into Dakshinayan and Uttarayan. Uttarayana is the longer part of the year, when the days become longer, when there's more light than darkness, when the days are longer than the night. Dakshinayana is when the nights start to become longer than the days. So from August to December, January is generally Dakshinayana. And from January to July, August is generally Uttarayana. So we'll be starting our mantra course once the Uttarayana begins on January, after Makara Sankranti on January 16th. And this is what we'll be teaching at the beginner level of the mantra Chikitsa. Mantra, we talked about Chikitsa means procedure or process or science in Sanskrit, loosely translated. So this is a procedure or process or science of using mantra for healing is what we'll be teaching. At the beginner level, we'll start with some foundational stuff. So the first lecture that we'll do will be a background on what are the Vedas, what are the Shastras, what are the different scriptures, both in the Hindu tradition as well as in the other spiritual traditions, because mantra is not a Hindu theology. It has nothing to do with Hinduism. It has to do, it's a spiritual realization of all the great souls, saints, sages, rishis, teachers, gurus who have come through all prophets, nabis, who have come through all the traditions, all the different spiritual traditions, whether it's what we call the Hindu tradition today, Vaishnavite, Shaivite tradition, whether it is the Islamic tradition, whether it is the Judaic tradition, whether it's the Christian tradition, whether it's a Buddhist, Jain, Sikh, all the different traditions, all the different traditions that have come over time. Mantra is core to all of them. In Islam, we have the Quran, which is known as the holy book, but the holy sound. It's known as the holy sound. In Islam, you have different ways of chanting the text, the Quran, based on the time of day, the time of year. So they have different intonations on how you should chant based on different factors. So it's a very profound science of mantra. In the Christian tradition, Christ used to heal through Yeshua. Christ used to heal through sound as well, touch as well, and also sound as well. The Lord's Prayer in Aramaic is a very powerful mantra. Abundashmaya nitkadashmach tetemargodach neveza bionach aikana dashmaya farah Aulan lachmasukan lan yomana usvik lan khobain aikana defkanan shikan lachayabin ulate lan lanisyona إلى بسن من بشام الدل لخم الخطا وخيل تشبخ لا لمالمين آمين. This is the Lord's Prayer as Christ used to chant in Aramaic. Very few, there's only I think one or two churches in the world I believe they're in either what is current present day Israel or maybe Syria, where this style of recitation and chanting is practiced. But this is how the Lord's Prayer was recited by Christ in Aramaic, as not just as a prayer to some unknown divine, but as a sound vibration tool, divine sound, divine vibration, divine tool for healing people. We all know from the Bible, there's so many stories of Christ healing. There's stories of him resurrecting people from the dead. Even in the Vedas, there are mantras for resurrecting people, bringing people out of a coma. There are mantras for that. So in the Bible, there are stories of him resurrecting people from the dead, right? Or from a coma, almost dead state, coma state, dead, full death state. Christ used to use mantra, used to use vibration as one of his tools for healing as well. And then in the Judaic tradition, there are many mantras. They have in the Jewish mystical tradition, they have a whole science of mantra as well as yantra, using the two together. What we in Sanskrit call yantra, which is like mystical diagrams, mystical shapes and geometrical shapes and objects, which they use. They also have a similar thing. But they also use mantra as well. One of the powerful mantra in the Judaic tradition is the Shema, which Moshe tells all the people of Israel as they're moving to the promised land. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Yahad. So this is a very powerful mantra which Moshe revealed to his people, which is also a divine vibration. So in the first class, we'll be talking about all these different traditions. What are the different sources of mantras? Where do they come from? From the Vedas, from the Upanishads, from the Shastras, from the Puranas, about the Hindu tradition, but then also other traditions as well. Classes 2 and 3 will be setting the foundation for healing. So no healing can be done unless the proper foundational practices are in place. These are yama and niyama, as they're known in the yogic understanding, yama and niyama, as they're mentioned in many of the yogic texts. Yama is restraint and niyamas are observances. So they are things like proper speech, speaking correctly, truthfully, not stealing, moderate diet, these kinds, keeping clean, cleanliness, these kinds of things. So they're depending on which text you read, which text or teacher you go by, they're either 5 or 10 yamas and 5 or 10 niyamas. So these are very foundational to healing. You might be thinking, why do we need to talk about, talking truthfully, speaking truthfully, and staying clean? I take a shower every day. Cleanliness is not just about outer cleanliness. It's also about cleanliness of mind and cleanliness of soul. So like this, there are certain observances you have to have before you can access the power of healing through the mantra. Because if you don't observe these things, the power of the mantra gets blocked. This is why if I teach you a mantra today, you'll be able to access maybe a little bit of the healing power just based on the vibration, but on most of it, 99.99% of it will be locked, because we're not observing the correct disciplines in order to access the power of mantra. So this yama and niyama is important for mantra. It's important for yoga. Nowadays, I doubt many of the yoga teachers even teach yama and niyama, that I've seen at least. Some of the very traditional ones do, but this is none of the healing power, none of the inner divine power can be accessed without a correct understanding and practice of yama and niyama. And then from lectures 4 onwards, class 4 onwards, we'll be getting into actual mantra. So we'll start with the Sanskrit Varnamala, which are the individual letters in Sanskrit. Each one of the letters in any of these energy languages, whether it's Sanskrit, Aramaic, ancient Hebrew, ancient Arabic, ancient Latin, ancient Greek, all of these ancient languages, which were what we call energy languages, where sound was revealed through the understanding of vibration by these great teachers, great souls. They each have a system where, and in Sanskrit specifically, there's a system where each syllable itself is a mantra, it creates a vibration. So a correct understanding of what are all the syllables in the Sanskrit alphabet, what we call alphabet today, and how you can practice each one of those as a mantra. Then we'll get into like Shakti Bija mantras, which are the feminine forms of the mantras. We call them feminine divine because in our limited mental understanding, that's the best way to associate it. But there are different type of mantra that's used for invoking different healing aspects. Then we'll get into practice of mantra yoga, mantra purusha, which I talked about, where there's a specific system of where different bijas, different syllables, different bijaksharas, different bija mantras are used on different points of the body, different marmas, different nadis, to energize them, to heal them, to energize them, to correct any imbalances that may be going on in those points. There's a whole separate practice called mantra purusha, or some people call it mantra yoga, which talks only about this. How do you enliven, energize the Sushumna Nadi with just mantra? The Ida Nadi, the Pingala Nadi. How do you energize these through the practice of mantra? The different marma points in the body. How can you activate them? How can you bring them into balance through the practice of marma, through the practice of mantra? So we'll talk about that as well. Then we'll start getting into a little bit more complex mantras, bija mantras, which are a little bit longer than one syllable. They'll have multiple syllables to it. Gam, Om Gam Ganapadaye Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya. So these kinds, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Aim Shrim Klim Chamundaye Viche. These are all bija mantras, which are a little bit longer than just Om Hrim, Om Shrim, which are the individual syllable sounds, bijaksharas in Sanskrit. Bija mantras are a little bit longer, so they have a little bit more of a different effect and a little bit more of a powerful effect in some cases when practiced for healing. And then we'll talk a little bit about some basic shlokas for daily practice that you can use for healing others as well. And then puja and homa, which are offering rituals where we use mantra in addition to offering certain substances. Through the practice of offering, you are enhancing the healing energy, healing power of the mantra. This is the beginner level. Later in the year, after we complete the beginner level course, we'll have an intermediate level course as well as an advanced level course. In the intermediate level course, you can expect and we'll do it sequentially. So you must have completed the beginner level course before you can start the intermediate level course, because this will be the foundation for understanding what's happening at the intermediate level course, and beginner and intermediate will be the foundation for what's happening at the advanced level. Intermediate course will talk more about Mula mantras, which are again longer mantras. Then even Om Gam is a bijakshara. That's the shortest form of mantra for Ganapati. Om Gam. Then you'll have Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. That's a bija mantra for Ganapati, a little bit longer. Then you'll have a Mula mantra for Ganapati. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glam Gam Ganapataye Vara Varada Sarvajaram Meva Samanaya Swaha. So you'll have that as a Mula mantra. So in the intermediate course, we'll be going into a little bit more complex mantras. We'll be talking about more about the Vedas, about different scriptures as well. We'll be talking about different aspects of healing, more specific tools and ways of healing through the different uses of longer mantras. And then finally, in the advanced level course, we'll get into full Vedic suktams, like the long hymns that are in the Vedas, specifically used for healing physical ailments as well. So the Atharva Veda, of the four Vedas, the Atharvana Veda has specific suktams that are related to specific diseases, even, that when you chant those suktams, those long hymns, they're used for healing, like for example, kidney stones. There's one suktam called Mutra Mochana Suktam, which is used for like kidney health. So you can heal like urinary tract and kidney issues with that. There's one called Krimi Nashana Suktam, which is used for viral issues like viral diseases, flu, all this coronavirus and stuff, all these viral issues that we have. There's Roga Nivarana Suktam, which is used more generally for getting rid of diseases in the body, but also pain relief. Like that, there's many. Then there's even suktams like Mritya Sanjeevana Suktam, which, like I mentioned before, has the power to bring people out of like catatonic states. So we'll be getting more into that in the advanced course. So I don't know what the time is. How
Next,
much time?
we have some questions, Panditji, and
Yes.
we'll take these questions. And Namaskar, your explanation is based on Advaita Siddhanta, but Visishta
Vishishta. Yeah.
Advaita says you are a small
So,
part of the whole universe.
yeah. So yes, this is true in a philosophical sense. I think especially I'm here in India now, and I've studied under very traditional teachers and read all the traditional texts. We have a tendency in any religion. I've studied under even Islamic teachers, gurus, who have also sometimes we get bogged down in the philosophical aspect of things. So yes, there's in Hinduism, there's many different philosophies. There's Sankhya, there's Advaita, which is by Shankara Bhagavatpada, Adi Shankaracharya. They say he's attributed with coming up with this idea of Advaita philosophy. There's Ramanujacharya's philosophy of Dvaita, Advaita. Then there's Madhavacharya's philosophy of Dvaita, and there's all these different philosophical things that people talk about. In the end of the day, all of these lead to the same thing. They're just different. They're different ways of looking at the same object. There's a story in the Buddhist tradition where this king brings a bunch of wise men into a room and puts all blindfolds on them. And he brings an elephant into the room and he blindfolds all the men. And he says, tell me, you can't use your sight, but you can touch, you can feel all that, and tell me what this object is. So one of the wise men goes and he's on the end of the elephant, the tail side. So he feels the tail and he says, oh, this tail is kind of hairy and leathery. Maybe it's like, maybe it's a horse over here. Maybe this horse here. And then someone's on the front side of the elephant where the trunk is, and he feels the trunk and he says, oh no, it's a snake. It feels like a snake. Then someone is on the side and feels the legs of the elephant and says, oh, it looks like the pillar, like the columns, the pillars, some pillars you're constructing for your castle. And the king starts laughing because he says, all of you are blindfolded. You see only your limited view. But when you take off your blindfolds, you'll see the full picture. So we shouldn't be limited by these philosophies, by these different Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Dvaita. So many different philosophies are there. And they all have a lot of value. They're all different paths for reaching the same end. Just like we have Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. We have all these different paths because there are so many different people in the world. There's how many people on earth now? 7 billion, 8 billion people on earth. That means there are that many ways to reach the divine. There's not one way. There's not one way to heal. If I teach you mantra healing, that doesn't mean you should heal use it in the same way necessarily that I use it, for example. But there is a way that you can have that knowledge and integrate it into your own practice of healing, which can be an effective tool for you. So it's not necessarily about getting bogged down in the different philosophies, because all the teachers were realized souls, and all these teachers were talking about Shankara and Ramanuja and Madhava were all realized souls, and they had their own process of realization, and they arrived at it in their different way. They arrived at their understanding of healing and scripture and mantra and all in a certain way. So they expressed it in the way that they arrived at it. And similarly, when I teach the course, I'll express it in the way that I've understood it and I've arrived at it. Doesn't mean it's the only way. Doesn't mean it's the only way. It's a tool for you all to take something and do with. Mantra, like I said, tra means tool. So it's a tool for you to practice as you best see fit, to integrate into your own healing practice. But thank you. That's a good clarification.
Thank you, Panditji. And with giving this explanation, I would like to give some insights of these things. As mentioned in Ayurveda, the Vedic science, the Chikitsa, the treatment is three types broadly, which is a Daiva Vyapashaya Chikitsa, Sattvavajaya Chikitsa, and Yukti Vyapashaya Chikitsa. Among three, Daiva Vyapashaya Chikitsa is the supreme power, ultimate power of healing. But unfortunately, in the society, we are practicing Yukti Vyapashaya Chikitsa. That means formulations, herbs, medicines, drugs, everything. Massage therapy or beauty therapy, anything, whatever we are doing, everything is Yukti. Means somebody starts the massage therapy from the head, somebody starts from the shoulder, somebody starts from the feet. That's all the Yukti according to your own way you are doing. Somebody put in a Ashwagandha, Shatavari, and Kapikachu, or some herbs and everything combination. It's all your own Yukti. Yuktistu Yojana. Yojana means millions of ideas are there that you can put together. That is a formulation. So that is the reason nowadays you can see that in the modern medicine also, from the horse urine, and a formulation is made for the women who are suffering with the menopausal problems and those type of things, hormonal medications. And some of the medicines which are made from the animal products, like vaccines are created from the saliva of the some animals and everything they collected like that. Even the studies were done that in the Asian countries, they collected the urine from the public toilets and they processed it, and then they are able to produce a medication, special medication for the certain types of diseases. And of course, nowadays, fecal implants, microbiota, which we are collecting from your own feces, is taken and as a created a medicine. Of course, in the ancient time, there are so many medications in Ayurveda mentioned. Panchagavya Gruta. Panchagavya Gruta means the 5 products from the cow are collected and made a medicine. And there are medicines which are made with the animal products, and like a milk and ghee and other things like that. In addition to that, there are some metallic preparations, zinc, mercury, cadmium, all the heavy metals, mica, and all the varieties of sulfur, all the type of medicines. In addition to that, herbal medicines. This is all yukti you are doing. Sattva Vajaya Chikitsa is also practiced mind therapy. That is called psychotherapy, psychiatry, psychotherapy, and everything. Psychology. That is secondary level. Beyond that, that is called God intervention, which is a karma. All things are covered. This is called Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa. Daiva means the gods, the divine sources, the Almighty. Amen. Whom we are thinking about that. So that's the power of the Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa, the supreme power which is given, which is never tapped any other schools and universities. We laugh at the people, Pandit ji, if walking, why he is wearing this type of beard and mustache and everything, and put a bindi and the sandalwood and everything. He is uneducated. The educated person who is putting a suit and everything, that's educated. The person who is Pandit chanting slokas and everything, that we see that uneducated. But when the problem comes to you, where you run? You finally ultimately run to the temple. Panditji, do puja. my daughter is suffering with this problem, cancer problem, or my daughter is not able to conceive the baby. And we tried all the in vitro, all the therapies, we did it. We spent millions of dollars, hundreds of dollars, but we are not able to succeed it. Finally, we came to you and you did some puja and everything. After that, she conceived the baby. And my donation is $51 to you. $51,000 you spent on the other therapies, which is useless and which created a lot of problems, turmoil, trauma. And whereas $51 donation, a dakshana, which has solved the problem. I'm not saying here distinguishing the differentiation between these things, all are required. But what we are trying to do, tap your inner healing through Vedic recitations and mantra therapy, that is Daiva Vipasha Chikitsa, Mani Mangala, Balyupahara, Homa, Niyama, Prayaschitta, Upavasa. These all the things are mentioned like that. Using of various modalities. It's not only one therapy. So here mantra is one of the tool which we are going to use it. Mudras, tantras, yantras. There are so many things are mentioned here. And again, I'm not talking about Vedic science only from the part of that. Scientific part also I wanted to bring as an Ayurvedic doctor, studied medicine for 9 years, practicing 33 years. I accept the scientific validation. So there was a study was done, cows kept in the cow shed whole night. They put a music of Vedic recitation. Sri Suktam, Purusha Suktam, whatever the things are, Suktams are there in the ancient Vedic vibrations. So they put it, music, gentle music box, like what I'm going to use it here. Then, morning, surprisingly, they saw the milk quantity is increased. The cows are producing more milk. Think about that. Whole night you have not slept. Next day, how do you feel? Jittery, angry, frustrated, laziness, body aches, all the physical and mental problems are there. Only the cows also having human being, their things are there, the animals. They have also life force is there. This is the study was done. Only how much it cost? Nothing. The electric bill, maybe 1 cent cost by putting a music. Recitation. And how much he made money? Lot of milk came without any painful. And also when the milk is taking and no arrogancy, agitation of the animals, they're quiet. That is the one study was done. Same thing, they studied with the opposite side. Okay, let us do these things. They put a jazz music. You know the jazz music? And with the drums and everything. You can see in the pub, you go to the pub at midnight, you can see this music. Who is talking what? We don't know. Everybody is drinking beer. That's it. And suddenly gun violence will start. One guy will be crazy, guy will come and gun, shoot everybody. That's the thing. And that is also happened between 12 to 3. And that is the thing is happening there, gun violence, because everybody is agitated, irritated. And these animals, next day, before they trying to udders, they went to the udders to get the milk, they are kicking them, everybody. They don't want to give the milk at all. Because the whole night they have not slept. They are agitated with jazz music, loud jazz music. That's the thing happened. See, that is the thing. The jazz music having some impact is there. And For example, if you are dull, lethargic, somnolence, sleepy, put a jazz music. You are already agitated, depressed, worried. Then you need to have soothing mantras are required. Soothing music is required. Makes the difference? That's the thing. Coming to these things, even they have studied from the pharmacological level, the oxytocin levels are increased, and at the same time growth hormones also increased. These are the some studies are showing scientifically. We are going to discuss in these classes. We are seeing now, today actually afternoon I am teaching a class for the mother and child care program, and that I am going to talk about common behavioral problems, disorders for children. Now PD and BD are common things are happening. PD means psychosomatic disorders, and BD is the behavioral disorders such as ADD, ADHD, autism, Asperger's, and ODD, OCD, and children's small problems, bedwetting and anger, frustrations, all the different things. These are all the problems are coming because some imbalance in their chemical imbalance in their physiology, and some the loose connection in the brain. That's the thing happening, a loose connection in the brain. A child having a loose connection, how he behaves. We have to reconnect them. This is not only that, yoga studios, even the schools, everywhere, in the hospitals, in the wellness centers, in the gyms, in the pubs, everywhere they can use these Vedic recitations, Vedic sounds, having a greater impact. The peace is not coming by telling, by sitting in your room, or that is not going to come. Peace is going to come every individual, then only heaven on earth will come. Otherwise, we'll be traumatized, worried, panic, and only the thing is that mask and vaccine. Now we got 3 vaccines, boosters. Now Israel is going to the 4th booster, 4th dose, and 5th dose, 6th dose. It will be loaded with the vaccines only, and finally you will suffering with the, still there is no answer for that. But it is not answer for vaccination, is the only one answer for that. We have to look into that different perspective, how to improve your overall health and wellness. That's the thing is important. And here, 2 ways you can do it. One is a passive role. For example, Panditji is chanting. We also chant along with him. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We also chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Then people who are not able to chant, the recitation will be given by the Pandit, the proper recitation, a audio recitation during the class, that you can download it. You can put in a earphones, make them to listen. That is called a passive therapy. That means you don't need to chant. You are listening. You don't need to know the Sanskrit words. You don't need to go to the school to study Sanskrit. It's not a foreign language. But still, if you are listening that word, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, 106 times, 108 times, what happens? Your mouth will start to say Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We are not seeing the meaning of it. We are not seeing the meaning of it, but we are going to recite the name of things. A lot of times I ask my patients also when they come, they tell the name. What is the meaning of your name? Dr. Shekhar, I don't know. I don't know. Then why you kept your name? I don't know. My grandmother put it. My grandmother put it. For example, Bella, Isabella, or Frank, or Paul. What is the root word coming from? Susan, Sonia, Diana, Desiree, Alpa. What is these names is coming from? Where did the root cause is coming? Where the name is coming from? You need to know about that. That will also help you to empower yourself to enrich the purpose of your life. Once we are dead, we are not going to think about you. As long as you are alive, you can think about it. You can strongly empower yourself. All powers are within you. All healing powers are within you. And never lose, never defeat yourself. Be powerful and working on that. And as we look into that also, Pandit ji has explained very clearly about Dakshinayana, Uttarayana. These are the solstices, which we look into that. Having an impact on our health and wellness. In summer, you feel different. In the winter, you see the different. In spring, you feel the difference. Our body is changing. Our ecosystem is changing. Our whole society is changing. Our emotions are changing. Our behaviors are changing. Everything is changing. Even the plants, now we see in the East Coast area of the America, we don't have leaves. I tried to find a leaf. It's very rarely you can find the leaves, but full of snow, beautiful snow. What is happening? As soon as the spring comes, I can see the blossoming flowers, birds are coming and everything. The leaves are coming. And that is the time the sprouting is coming. The body is blossoming and everything. Everybody is coming out. So this is the changes are happening. We have to accept that change. And when you try to fight with that, then you are getting a problems. So Vedic recitations having a greater impact of, I have seen in my practice, people who came with blood pressure, high blood pressure, I measure. And after that, I put a music, chanting. I don't do anything. Ask them to close their eyes. Listen to the chanting, the passive listening. 10 minutes. In the meantime, I go to my room and massage room and relax, make sure that get the preparation is ready, oils are ready, everything is ready. In 10 minutes period of time, again I check the same instrument, same person, same position, and blood pressure came down 10 points. What I did it? Nothing. Without any drug, you are able to bring 10 points in 10 minutes. What more you need? This is the part is missing. I'm doing a lot of research on these things, and we are also using Vedic Pulse. And now I'm excited to doing a research on each and every client. When they come for how these Panchamahabhutas, 5 elements, earth, water, fire, and air and space elements, have an impact. We are always talking about that. Dr. Shekhar, tell me my body type, my dosha. Before doshas, the 5 elements first they originated. Without the 5 elements, there is no Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Panchamahabhutas, Pudvap, Tejo, Vayu, Rakasha. Everybody talks about doshas. Oh, my Vata is increased. Vata is increased means your space and air elements are increased in your body. Air and space elements are increased. That means you are not allowed to eat salads. popcorn, those type of things. What you needed to eat? Opposite qualities. Sweet potatoes, yams, those are the root vegetables, potatoes stew, borscht, your Russian people, they eat with the beets and everything. That's the thing they have to eat, rooted vegetables to ground you, earth element. And chakras also, if you check and look into that, their Mooladhara chakra is so weak. Sahasrara chakra and the chakras are so activated. And yesterday I have seen 33 years girl, yoga teacher. Dr. Shekhar, my Kundalini is awake and I am so restless. I'm not feeling good. And she came for consultation. During the consultation, she is continuously crying. Whole box of her tissue box is over. That much she cried. And finally, I asked her that, you spent a lot of time on crying, but you didn't brought any points. What should I address? For crying purpose only you came here? Yes. Lot of trauma, emotional balance, sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, all the abuses are there. And I asked her that, have you done any mantra chikitsa, mantra therapy? No, I never heard about that. In yoga, I'm a yoga teacher. I'm focused only on the postures. That is called pretzel yoga. I call pretzel yoga. Oh, you able to twist this much? I'm also able to twist that much. Oh, I got an injury. My physical therapist, my physiatrist said that don't do yoga. Yoga is dangerous because you try to beyond your level, you twisted yourself. Whereas we have not tried to do our mind to control. Mind to control is very, very important. That Daiva Vyapasya Chikitsa, which is Mantra Chikitsa, certainly very helpful. I am not bringing the person who is not able to recite properly, not like that. We have Pandit is here. You see that vibration of his chanting and everything. You can feel that your cells are vibrating. That's the thing is important. Learn the source of knowledge from the right person. I'm not here to teach the mantra therapy course. A lot of people, the students ask me that, Dr. Shekhar, are you teaching? No, I'm not teaching. I'm facilitating this program. Pandit is the instructor. I am going to bring my insights of Ayurveda and how Ayurvedic scientific validations are there. I'm going to work on that. And if you still you have a time for that, sign up for the thing. First try with basic level course. And if you are not interested, not sure about it, only sign up for only one session. On January 16th, 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, you can join. You can have a live session like this. If you are not able to join, nothing to worry. We send you the recording. You can recite. But when you are live, you can ask any questions. We have a 3-hour time, not like a 1-hour time. We have plenty of time to discuss piece by piece. And you will have an interaction with the Panditji, and we will be facilitating this program. Start with one. If you are committed to do all the entire program, certification program, those who join only one piece will not get certificate. Those who enter into the basic course, they will get a separate certificate. Of course, if you like it, then you can go to the second level of the intermediate level. That is a more little bit deeper. Then advanced level, more classes are there, more advanced level of training is there. It's not only ending this mantra therapy, we are in continuation to developing the program of Yantra Chikitsa and Tantra Chikitsa. These are the various ways, the various wisdom of knowledge, a piece of pieces in the puzzle. We are going to resolve it. We are going to bring it. You will learn a wonderful way of healing yourself, tapping your inner healing properly in a healthy way. Thank you very much. We have one more question here. It's more humbling to think you are a small part of the whole than whole itself. For the realization, one must highly accomplish and enlightened. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmanji. Good. Thank you very much.
We'll talk about humility also as part of the yamas and niyamas. What does that mean?
None of the schools, Ayurvedic schools, are offering this type of programs. None of the universities are not offering this mantra therapy program. So it will be a very, very good way to learn. Yes.
I apologize. I had a conflict, so I came in late. I apologize if this was already answered. This is possibly part of a Vedic doctoral studies program that you're developing. Is that correct? I think I heard you talk about something like that on another video.
It is not necessarily, but it can be accompanied like that. Like the doctoral programs, doctors programs and everything. That means a doctor means know everything, lot of things, not only things. Like in the medical schools in India, a BIMS doctor does not know about mantra chikitsa. It's a half knowledge.
Yes.
And they don't know Jyotisha. They don't know Vastu. They don't know Tantra. They don't know meditation. So, but still, the universities are giving a doctoral degree, BIMS degree. So, only for the degree purpose you wanted to study, the lifetime is required. And I am a student of Ayurveda. I'm a student of Vedic science. Still, I am studying. This is a new subject for me. I'm adding a new feather into my hat. It is a new feather into my hat, new certification to my hat. And this is the thing, new knowledge is there which you are incorporating. I don't know, because a lot of times in India, when we are performing marriages, weddings and everything, Sri Suktam, Purusha Suktam and everything, we pay money for the Pandit ji to come, more focus on my wife only, because I'm not focusing on my Pandit ji chanting what he's chanting. And in between I touch her and I scratch her. How are you doing? Like that. And we are talking about that. I love you. I tell 3 times like that. And Panditji is chanting his own. But nobody focus on these things. And all the people, ladies and gents, they are coming. Gents, they're talking about that movie, we are good. Cricket is good. That one is good. Like that, they are talking. Women are talking about their own clothing. What type of clothing they got it. And jewelry. That's the thing. Kids are playing. Panditji, poor Panditji, chanting. And finally he comes and gives them that, hey, come on, everybody, I'm going to give you some dakshina, this one, the grains of the rice with added with the turmeric and the kumkum and everything. And please sprinkle on that. And some people, I don't want to go that far. Take it this one and pour it there. A lot of times people, they throw on the Panditji's head, not on the guard. So this is the thing happens like that. This is like a show business, not real recitation is not happening. And Vedic recitations are happening when the puja homa they do. Panditji brings a lot of Vedic medicinal plants like that gugulu, frankincense, and darbha, kusha, kasha, darbha, and vata vruksha, and all the pancha valkalas and everything he brings, chandana, and he puts in that. But he is not putting kerosene or petrol or gasoline. He is putting these things. That smell is coming. The sound is coming. It makes you to cry. People, what do they do? Panditji, we are not interested to have this type of things. Can we have an electric candle? Put an electric candle or LED lamp and do your puja. Nowadays, in the Western cultures, what is happening? Panditji is not available. We put a chanting.
Ganadhipataye namaha.
And after that,
Om
we go to the Pizza Hut and eat pizza. That is called puja. This is the performance we are doing. How many ways we have to butcher the Vedic science, we can do it. The human being can do it. Who asked you to do it? This is the biggest thing is that, and people are putting the one lady came, Dr. Shekhar, when I wanted to meditate it, whether I should put it 108 Rudrakshas or 208 Rudrakshas. Now I told that 1008 is better. That way it can hang your neck, whole neck, and you will get having a neck scoliosis and other things problems. It's not that one. How many Rudrakshas are you put it on basis of that? You will not get meditation, will not go into that. Even without, unfortunately, Panditji having only one. Panditji having only one, that means he is not doing much anything. Tomorrow he has to put at least 1008 Rudrakshas. Then only he will be more powerful. This is the thing, how many degrees you got it, doctoral degrees, Vedic degrees and everything, but you are not practicing yourself, no use. First question I ask the people, whether you are practicing the mantra Chikitsa yourself or not, whether you are practicing yoga or not, whether you are able to cook the food and everything. Lot of cookbooks came in the market. I asked one interview, one lady, hey, I wanted to know about that. Have you really cooked these recipes? No, Dr. Shekhar. Honest, I wanted to have honest answer. She has put all the recipes in the book, but she didn't cook anything. Unfortunately, what she did it? She copied from the various sources and modified and put it in a book. Lot of cookbook writing books, people write it, they don't know how to cook. Whereas uneducated person who is high school graduate, he has not written any book, but he can cook very good food, delicious food. My mom, she is only 8th grade, but she's a wonderful cook. And I asked her that, Mom, what you put it in the recipe, how much, what is the quantities? I don't know. I just put it. My mom touched me and I prepared it. But final product is that so delicious, I have to lick the plate. I have to lick the plate. That indicates that much tasty. I don't want to leave one drop of sambar. That is the food. That is the real food. That is the real prasada of the food. What we have to enjoy it. So a lot of people, the taste not good. They follow everything. They follow the book. A lot of times I can see that in my family, I don't want to tell them the name of the person. And they follow the recipe and doesn't come correctly. I don't follow recipe. It tastes good. So you don't need to follow a lot of people, the students ask me that, Dr. Shekhar, do you have a cookbook? Are you missing any cookbooks? If you go to the library, I can show you 50,000 cookbooks are there in the entire world, publications, 50,000 varieties. Even if you taste one by one also, you cannot finish it. That many cookbooks are there. Why we need to write it more? The thing is that be practical, be honest, be grounded. Root chakra, live in the root chakra. Relax yourself. Then you will be humble. Be humble, learn the knowledge, and give the knowledge for the people who are ready to accept it. Don't give it to the free people, anybody like that. On the roadside, a mentally retarded guy, okay, I will teach you mantra chikitsa. No, don't teach him. He didn't ask you. I am here, we are here to teach the people, not on behalf of you. Dr. Shekhar, I wanted to sign up for my mom as a gift certificate. We don't accept it. You take it. This is not like a rain check or a giving something and a gift certificate given to the people, somebody. You cannot eat on behalf of somebody. Okay, you don't eat it, I will eat pizza and you will get a benefit. I will eat a khichdi on behalf of you. No, it's not going to happen. Results will not come like that. This is the personal experience. We wanted to have personal experience. One has to do it. We are very strict in that. We wanted to have to practice yourself and recite yourself at home when you have free time. Then you do the homework and you need to evaluate it and tell us. We have 10 students, that's more than enough. We are not expecting 100 students. Even 10 students, good enough, good students. So that's important. And it's the time for you. You can look into that and listen to these lectures. And all this today's lecture also, we are going to post it on YouTube and post it on our website. If you go to the website, our website, I'm going to show you, and website here, global.
Dr. Shekhar, I just wanted to say you made an excellent point about actually doing the practice and walking the talk.
Yeah.
I think for me, I really am interested in the program, and I feel like I have to justify doing it if it gets me a certification, not that I'm just doing it for the certification. But
yes, you are getting certification for all the things. How you use it, that's different.
Yeah.
No university is here, no accredited body is not here, no godfather is in this country is here, nobody having authority, no organization, nobody having authority to give a licensing authority to give these things Ayurveda as a licensed doctorate degrees.
Yes, but
No but you can use this knowledge. Definitely you can use the knowledge as a certification. You can display it. You can show the people. You can charge it. You wanted to do it. Always you can do it like that. This is the accredited program or university approved program. Which organization is approving? Yes, we are supporting with APNA, Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America. We strongly supporting this setup of the program. Definitely you will get a Global Ayurveda Academy from our academy. You will get a certificate of beginners level of program. Completed the program, successfully completed the first level of the program of the Mantra Therapy certification with the Panditji, and my signature will be there, and your validated certificate will be given to you.
Okay, I'm just glad you're doing this, because we didn't learn any of this when I had my Ayurvedic practitioner training. So
I told you that Ayurveda not taught in all the classes. I told you the BAMS course, even in MD's course also. You studied very little, guys. You studied here very little. I studied 2 accredited universities. I studied, and my Bada Bhai is there here. So Pawan Sharmaji, in Gujarat Ayurveda University, have we studied Mantra Chikitsa? Not much. Okay, he's also my senior student, and we studied Mantra Chikitsa, never taught in the Ayurvedic colleges. Never taught any Mantra Chikitsa is there. Maybe small bit is taught in the very little in the Kaya Chikitsa subject, particularly in the Manorogas. They mentioned little bit, not much. Mantra Chikitsa form is never mentioned like that, but it's the last. That is that I am excited to be learning more about this Panditji, from Panditji, learn knowledge. Okay, none of the schools are not taught these courses. So I will show you screen share. Are you able to see the screen?
yes.
If you go to the website globalayurvedaconferences.com and Vedic Sciences, Study Ayurveda, there you can see in the Study Ayurveda Vedic Sciences, this is the tab I have taken. This is particularly this Vedic recitation program. Panditji's chanting is there, and this basic level and all the program. Course view is there. We are updating the information. Panditji will get on some meditation ideas, or new ideas are coming, new thoughts are coming. We update that information time to time. It's a tentative program like that. So this is the thing. We have entire program is shown up like that. Basic level, advanced level, intermediate level, and advanced level. And then we have also previously we did three webinars. We did it, free webinars. You can see here. You can click on that. September 19th, 2022-21, October 22, we did it. And again, December 19th, we did it. Today is January 8th. We are going to post here. And all these 4 webinars we did it is a free. Anybody can listen. These are all the things. And this all the syllabus also we posted here. Here, what is the syllabus and everything. That can be changeable. Small changes will be there according to the situation. And this is the first level of the program. Next level is 54 hours of 18 webinars, 5 months over a period of 5 months. And then third one is called in the Mantra Therapy advanced level of program, 10 months program. It's almost 1.5 year, 2 years program. Almost 2 years program you are studying. And it goes to until the dates can variation change like that, because we try to put it on Sundays, and it goes further until June 18, 2020-23, next year. So this all the program is clearly mentioned in the website. It is self-explanatory. Okay, go through the process, because don't ask questions again, same thing repeated like that. Then I have to refer to you back to the website. Go and see all the information. We try to put all the information as much as possible. We work on that. Great. Stephanie, wonderful question. Definitely you add on Mantra Chikitsa, Yantra Chikitsa, Tantra Chikitsa. That is also missing part. Okay, Mantra Chikitsa, Tantra Chikitsa, Yantra Chikitsa. Then Homas, Yajnas, Yagas. There's also a lot of knowledge is adding on that, these things. You have to study for lifetime. You are a lifetime student of us.
Good.
So until 90, we wanted to see you to come and study. And remaining 10 years, you can practice.
that sounds realistic, actually.
This is simultaneously you have to practice, because we wanted to see not acquiring the degrees. We wanted to have, when the knowledge is gained, it's a be practical. Without practicality, no use. Yes. Because a lot of times when we are in the medical schools, we have clinical assessment is always going on simultaneously. First 2 years we study the anatomy, physiology, pathology. After that, Dravya Guna we study, plant medicine. Then simultaneously we can talk about the Roga Nidana, Vikruti Vijnana we study, pathology. And then it comes in the clinicals, the rotations in the hospital setup, where we have patients are there. We apply the knowledge. We apply the knowledge on the patient. For example, somebody having Shirashula and headache, what type of medicine we have to give? And we tell that the Pandit Dravyaguna professor said that, okay, cinnamon powder mixed with water and apply on the Stapani Marma, it is beneficial for that. If he said like that, we recollect that knowledge, what we learned in theory, we apply on the patient. And the headache is there. We ask them, the patient, intensity of the headache, 0 to 10. If you feel like that, what is your intensity of the pain? Now we apply the paste on the forehead and every area. And then after half an hour later, what changes have you noticed? Yes, I felt so good. Sometimes patients will be sleeping after putting the paste and he fall asleep. We asked him that how you felt. I don't have a headache. That means in the 8th, he said, and after doing of this paste application, and he slept 0, he came to 0, pain is 0. That means Vedana Stapana quality. This means anodyne quality is there, and it is having a relaxation quality. That knowledge is missing The practical knowledge is very important. What we studied, the theoretical knowledge, we have to apply it. If you don't apply it, you don't get a reply. Study, apply, and reply. Reply in terms of result. Result in a form of that patient will say that you try. For example, you have a cut. You put a turmeric paste. What changes are happening? You have stomach ache. You have ajwain tea you drink or CCF tea. Whether it is helped or not, I don't know. It's not helping me. Well, then why you are drinking? My teacher told me. That is a BS. Your teacher told you, yes, but it's not working. You have to modify it. You have to add additional information like that. Maybe the shula is coming from peptic ulcer or duodenal ulcer. It is not going to work. CCFT is not going to work. People who are having a duodenal ulcer, it aggravates. Amla pitta, vidagda jirna, parinama shula, annadrava shula. These are the varieties are there. All the varieties of diseases. But every disease is having different medicines. But CCFT is a common tea anybody can drink. That is the Amapachana tea. This is the things we need to know more detailed information. Amshamsa kalpana. Amshamsa kalpana. Permutations and combinations are very important. We are glad that a lot of Ayurvedic doctors also here. And they are coming from India and are participating there from here. That's good. And we don't want to put too many Sanskrit words also. Don't overwhelm you. And we wanted to clearly explain that there's some of the medical doctors also here from the other countries, from Brazil, Mexico, and other countries who are participating. We are very, very glad to all of you, to thank you to everyone taking extra time. And namaste to all, Panditji and everything. Namaste. Thank you.
Mr.
Yeah,
Pawan
you
Sharma have a question?
Pawan, do you have a question?
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
I would like to congratulate you first, Dr. Shekhar and Panditji both. Excellent, excellent initiative, no doubt. I would like to share my experience, practical experience, only in 2 minutes, if I am being permitted.
Yes.
Am I permitted for that?
Yes, sir.
Mahamrityunjay Mantra. Mahamrityunjay Mantra I have practiced in these last 33 years of practice, and I have observed that if we put some electronic apparatus, because everybody is not capable to recite the mantra, so we can put some electronic mantra dhara and near the patient, and it was instructed to the patient that please tune with that shlok. Try to recite it. Along with that, try to recite it. But the necessary is there, as you was telling, that cooking or we ourselves has to practice. There is nobody to put their mantras in our mouth. So patient has to practice, doctor has to practice, and it is miraculous effect. Pronunciation, recitation, everything will come after this course. I am really hopeful that you have taken a greater initiative, because nobody is dealing with that. And I have observed various occasions where operation table, patient gone to operation table, but that has been returned back by doctors that, oh, situation is now improving, operation is not necessary. It has been observed here. If anybody would like to go into the detail of research of Mrityunjay Mantra or Bij Mantra, definitely your course will be highly appreciable for them who really want or his soul and want to treat patient accordingly. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. In one because this is Mantra Chikitsa, so I, with your kind permission, in the last, I would like to chant for Dhanvantari in the last, because this is my sleeping time, as you know, I am sleeping just because your session was so nice that I could not sleep today. I am in Telangana, your state, Hyderabad.
Thank you.
Dear Samela.
Thank you.
Karpur Gauram Karunavataram Sansar Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Radhayaravinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namah. Vedyan Rajyotichi, I have observed him without means touching the pulse even. He was able to identify what is the prognosis or diagnosis there. It was miraculous for us. But he told me that it is possible through mantra recitation and mantra siddhi. That mantra siddhi definitely your students will achieve by your course, and mantra siddhi is the remedy which everybody cannot do. Great, great, Dr. Shekhar. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Panditji, can you close the session with your
Yes,
recitation?
since Mr. Sharma talked about Mahamrityunjaya mantra from Sri Rudram, we'll finish with that. Om Trambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanan Mrityor Mokshi Amamritate Yo Rudro Agnayapsaya Shadisha Yo Rudro Vishwabhuvana Vivesha Tasmai Rudraya Nama Astu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Thank you one and all for joining this wonderful session, and please share with your friends also who is interested in this thing, and we'll be putting this all the information on our website and with the YouTube link. Then we'll be posting that information. Thank you very much one and all. God bless you. Namaste. Be safe.